What up, people? So I guess we're live and late and no intro, you know. So what else are we gonna do here? What's up, guys? I mean, I'm sorry, internet issues caused us to be kind of late tonight and everything, but we're still in it to win it. I got my boys here tonight, the Michael Ducci. What is up, Mr.
It,
Marvel himself?
it looks
You
like you're
know,
live streaming with your phone, man.
I'm live
It is.
with the phone. You see, like
I'm
I'm
waiting
like
for him to
all
run down the
over. I'm
hallway.
like,
Right. I'm waiting for the comments to come up on the side of his phone.
that is just way too crazy. And then we got T Mitch in the house. He's
What's going
joining
on?
us tonight.
What is going on,
What is
everybody?
going on with you guys? All right, and I'm DP Brown, in the house, in the building, and everything. And we are here with the Nerd Cycle Flick Show. Talking about your favorite comic book and pop culture content. We're in the building. All right, so let's get some house clean out the way before we get to the goodness. All right, so make sure that you guys are going to nerdcyclopedia.com, get into that website where you hit all your favorite social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram, okay, at Nerd Encyclopedia. Also, make sure that you are subscribing to us if you're watching the YouTube on us right now, hitting that subscribe button on that YouTube channel and also hitting that notification button. So anytime that we're on, you know that we're on. If you are watching us on Facebook, thank you. All right. Make sure that you are going to our websites and also make sure that you are going to our Facebook groups. We have a Facebook group called Carbonate Bounded BS, a Star Wars group. So make sure that you're going to that and hitting us up with your favorite memes and your favorite posts on the Star Wars content. Also, make sure that you are subscribing to our podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm sorry, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm all like just jacked up tonight. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio. Wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, we are there. That's enough of the house clean. You guys hear it every week. Let's get down to the goodness. All right, guys, it's been a hell of a weekend.
Always is, right? It's
Always is.
Yes.
My boy, the Michael Ducci visited, Columbus. He got to go to like a Marvel exhibit and everything. I thought he was at Comic-Con when he sent me the pics. I was like, oh man, what are you doing there?
Yeah, let me brief that.
There, bud?
Yeah, let me brief that real fast. So Saturday night I went to a Luke Combs concert in Columbus at Ohio State, and COSI is out there, wonderful museum. I recommend it. And it just happened. My friend told me, "Oh yeah, they're doing some Marvel exhibit." I'm like, "Oh, that's right on my alley." I mean, what else am I going to do on Sunday?
Oh
So,
man.
so yeah, they did a traveling exhibit, and the exhibit, as I sent you the pictures, it had all the costumes of all the characters of every all the characters, every movie that they made. They had original issues of the comic book, Spider-Man 1, the first Marvel. Big dedication to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee,
Okay.
and big statues of all the of all the superheroes you could take your picture with, and all the Iron Man suits, and it was it was a very spectacular thing to do. And I mean, I was geeking the whole time. I felt like I was like a 5-year-old in there just running
Oh
around.
man.
They had this little exhibit where you could pretend you're Iron Man, like you sit and it's like a VR, and and they put the suit on you, you shoot things like with your hands and you fly.
Oh man.
Man, I tell you what, man, it was a show. It was a spectacular. It was nice.
The pictures you sent me were really good. Is that like a traveling exhibit or was that just in
Yeah,
Columbus?
it's a traveling exhibit. So
Ooh,
it was
okay.
just set up. So I don't know where it's going next or anything like that.
I gotta look
I
that
just
up.
I just know it was in Columbus, and I just happened to be the same weekend I was there. So I mean, it worked out. I mean, I'm not going to miss out on that. While
It
I'm there. When
yeah,
in Rome, right?
it looked real nice. I mean, if
Yeah.
it comes to Pittsburgh or somewhere in the area, I'm
I
definitely there.
wouldn't be
It looked real
shocked if it
nice.
didn't come to like Carnegie or something like
Yeah,
that. I mean,
yeah.
it was a nice it was well worth it. So I
Okay.
was very happy that I got to see it. Just seeing the costumes alone, like
Uh huh.
because it was the actual costumes that the characters wore. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing to see that. So I enjoyed that.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. So let's get into like, the goodness and everything. So first up, we're going to talk about a lot of the stuff that happened over the weekend at San Diego Comic-Con. We know it was like some really crazy, some really goodness, good stuff. We're not going to cover everything. We're basically going to cover mainly the Marvel and DC stuff, the little bit of DC stuff. But I guess let's just get into like the Marvel stuff. So they showed like another trailer of the She-Hulk, you know. And this was like the more of an in-depth, look at like, how the She-Hulk TV show that's going to premiere next month, how that's going to work out. They showed it online as well. So I was happy to see that. What did you guys think about that? Let's start with you, Mitch.
I mean, I'm a little cautiously optimistic about this one. You know, the Disney Plus series has been pretty decent. Um, don't know much about this character. I've seen a little bit of it on when they did, the Incredible Hulk animated series, and obviously this might be a different depiction from the actual She-Hulk that was on TV. So I know it follows a comic book line. It's part of this, as I guess it was dubbed the Kang Saga, the Multiverse Saga, if you will. So it's part of this. It's going to continue the story. I'm just interested to see, you know, what she becomes in this because as we get into this, there are so many characters. I think this Multiverse Saga has more characters than the Infinity Saga. So it's going to be a lot of characters develop, a lot of story, and for what 8 weeks. She's part of a pretty jam-packed slate this winter and spring. I mean, it's
Yeah,
thick and fast, as we saying. It's thick and fast this year.
it's a lot coming at us. What did you think about it, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, they're going after the storyline, the attorney at law, basically. So
Yeah,
it's good that the trailers was actually finally had the She-Hulk, CGI'd and a lot better viewing than
Yeah,
the Sonic one, look. But I mean, this is more relatable for fans because it's more relatable to the movies because now you have Bruce Banner as the Hulk in here as well too.
yeah, yeah,
So it's bringing not just the normal fans who just watch Disney Plus, but also people from the movies because they see it and relate it more.
right.
So I see that, and just as Mitch was saying, like they are building so many characters. Like, what are they going to do, and how are they going to fit all these characters in? I
yeah.
mean, I have different
Jeez.
theories about Young Avengers and stuff like
Yeah,
that, but I mean, they have all these shows that it's great for us because there's more content, and more content means we're always watching and we're always on.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
um, so I mean, it's great that way, but how are they going
yeah,
to put it as in movie form? Like, I mean, they can't. They
yeah,
obviously can't bring all these characters into movies at the same time. They're going to try to, and how it's going to work, but I don't know. But of course, I mean, it's Marvel. We're going to watch it. I'm going to be
right.
happy, and
yeah.
we'll go from every week. Even if it's a bad show, you know what? I'm going to watch it anyways because there's
Oh
other
yeah.
bad shows that we just got done watching. But but yeah, I mean, we're going to tune in, and like I said, it's
Yeah,
going to be more relatable just for the fact that you have the actual Incredible Hulk in it, and and also Abomination. I mean, come on, you turn in and you get to see
Yeah,
Abomination, so
yeah,
you
yeah,
have characters that you've seen before. You know the characters, so you don't have to go through all the backstory of all the characters. Just the main one, the She-Hulk. But other than that, the other characters you already know; they're already developed. So go
um
for it.
yeah, I mean, I liked it. I'm not a big She-Hulk fan, but I was a big fan of the John Byrne, 80s, 90s She-Hulk, with the her breaking like the fourth wall. I love those books. Those were some really great books. So the one shot where she did end up breaking the fourth wall, and they just looked at the screen, just had me just dying. I was just
Yeah,
cracking up.
that's
I was
nice
like, I
how they
hope they
did
do a
that.
lot
Right.
of that, during like the series and everything. I'm loving how they're connecting, like, the universe. Obviously, we had a Wong appearance, and we know we seen him and Abomination in Shang-Chi. So that's a connection there. So I wonder how that's going to connect, since both of them are actually in this series. I had no idea Wong was going to be in this series, but they're integrating him a whole lot more. So I guess we're going to see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. The CGI looks better. It doesn't look like, super great. but it looks much better than when they first came out with the Shrek, She-Hulk and everything,
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they just put out the first one just to put it out, and
Yeah, just to put it out, let us know that it's going to be out there. So they
right.
got the a lot of that, the graphics and everything a whole lot better. I'm liking the humor. It sounds like it's going to be short, sweet, get to the point, and get in and get out. And like you said, I think this is one of the series that have actually featured a major Avenger, and it's taken a prominent role instead of like a cameo and then just be out. She-Hulk origin is part of Bruce Banner. I'm about to call him David Banner, Bruce Banner. And so of course he's going to be featured prominently a lot. Probably maybe just in that first or maybe second episode. And we don't know how much we're going to see in him, but I'm glad to see a lot of him. Training She-Hulk and everything. Jennifer Walters. So I'm excited. I was excited about that in there about the little
that's what I was about to
Daredevil
say.
scene.
I mean that the quick Daredevil, an actual costume Daredevil.
Yeah,
Right.
and
then
the yellow, he has the yellow costume. Not his regular all red, blood red and everything. They try to incorporate some of the yellow comic costume in. So I'm excited about that. And it seems like they're going to be right out on the streets instead of in the courtroom. So to integrate Charlie Cox in this already, I'm just super excited. It's a fanboy debate on online on whether the Netflix stuff is going to be canon or whether it's just going to be Kevin Feige just taking elements of the Netflix stuff and integrating it into the MCU as its own separate universe and everything. So a lot of people are going to be disappointed if it's not set canon from the Netflix stuff. But I don't know how you're really going to bring all of that in and also bring in the Iron Fist stuff. But I mean that's another story. Anyway, but I'm loving the She-Hulk stuff, so I can't wait to see that. So we got to see that trailer and everything. Let's just get right into the Wakanda Forever trailer. So that was the end off trailer of the Comic-Con. And I must say that when I first seen the trailer, I was just stunned. Yeah, I was just taken aback. I was kind of emotional. I ended up watching it about 10 times right after that and seen a bunch of reaction videos of people reacting to the trailer and everything. And it was just crazy because this trailer didn't have pretty much any Black Panther in it until the end there, but it presented enough to where it you got the tribute, to Chadwick Boseman, him rest in peace and everything, but it gave enough story to where we were understanding that that Wakanda was kind of being attacked by the Atlanteans, with Namor and everything. And it gave us the action where we didn't really even care, or at least I didn't really care about seeing Black Panther, for the whole trailer. I was just so engrossed in the emotional, weight of it. And then all of a sudden, you got the claws at the end and everything, man, it just set it off. What did you think about that, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, T. Mitch and I were talking about this while you're having your internet problems. He mentioned how Namor is one of the oldest, Marvel characters. So it's good they're finally incorporating him into a story. But
Finally.
right, what we were talking about is so how are they going to present, T'Challa's death? Are they going to do it did he get killed by a character? As we came to the conclusion he's going to be dead before obviously the movie because they didn't want to cast anybody, and even put a fake costume up there. So I mean, we figure, so in between, sometime between Endgame and this movie, he died somehow. But so it's curious to see how they're going to work that into the story. And obviously they need to have another Black Panther because they need to have the representation in the Avengers of a Black Panther. And plus, I mean, it's just such a great storyline, and the movies are just so well done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a very powerful trailer, just as you said. I mean, it gets you really emotional and gets you really going for it. So it's just it is one of those more powerful, because you have the meaning and everything behind all knowing what's happened, and have this come on, finally movie come out, and how they're going to do it, and just at the very end you see the the claws of everything. And another thing T Mitch and I were talking about is Marvel has done a wonderful job with the trailers. They think we know the movie, but it's really only the first 15 minutes, Act 1 of
Yeah.
the movie
Yeah.
that they show in the trailers.
Right.
And so they do a really good job. Like, oh, that has to be an end scene. Oh, that's going to be the end fight. No, that's Act 1. So, so they do a really, really, really good job of that. And again, this movie does. I mean, this trailer does that again. I believe, and it's going to be setting it up. And like you said, you watched it 10 times. It's just that powerful. You just have to keep watching it again and again because you're so emotionally involved with it. You're caught up in the moment, and so you have to take your breath and then watch it again, and then get another reaction. Like, okay, now I've seen this part of it, and so it's one of the well done trailers,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
for the movie coming out. But of course, I feel like they also had to make this happen just for the fact that they had to go a different direction than what wasn't planned for the Black Panther. So, so what are they going to do and how are they going to do it is the big mystery. And it's just good to see that they are going to have another Black Panther in it. It's just, it's curious on how they're going to do it. And, of course, we're all looking forward to it, like everything else, right?
Yep. Pretty much. T Mitch.
Yeah, I echo what Douchey said as well. Like, I mean, Marvel is they're the kings. I mean, of us all trying to predict and have our theory trailers. I mean, we've seen it on the Star Wars end, we've seen it on Endgame theories. They'll just sprinkle in the first 15 minutes. This will be the intro of the movie. The funeral and all that stuff. I mean, the deflection that Marvel does for these trailers is phenomenal. I mean, and to think about it, they really didn't even need to give us anything. I mean, this movie's going to sell out the first night regardless. It's a blockbuster. I think this will shatter the November record. I mean, the minute they can release these tickets tonight, and they'll be sold out. I mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I
Instantly.
mean,
Yeah.
this is going to be the big one, and I think they pushed it up, so you don't got to even wait till Thanksgiving. This is what, November 4th, I think. It's the beginning of the month, so
Yeah.
Oh
It's beginning
really?
in, is
Oh
it
okay.
November? Is it 4th or the 11th? Somewhere around that
or
area.
it's an
But
early, so it's not going to be the Thanksgiving movie. So yeah, they're gonna run with this one, but I really like the trailer. Excited to see Namor, more characters. I just, Ironheart. One of the things, I mean, and it's not nitpicking. It's just that, like, we have, so, as we said, there are so many characters. We're gonna have, and hopefully they just sprinkle Ironheart in there because she's gonna have our series develop herself. But yeah, it's. I was really intrigued, very happy with the Chad kind of the tributes they do, but I'm excited about the country of Wakanda, and this is something me and Ducci's talked as you were getting your internet set up. But this is really the first this was the first story to where Marvel really gave us that history lesson, that world history lesson. They took us to Africa. We learned about the continent of Wakanda, and it even gave you that kind of that African vibe. You look at Shang-Chi, you get your South Asian and your China, your Chinese American. When he got to America, you kind of have that kind of depiction. Even when he moved to San Francisco, the parallels to the Bruce Lee story. So we got that. I mean, we talk about Miss Marvel, and we have your Pakistani and your Indian influence. So I
Yeah.
like these cultural appropriation stories are doing and giving us these other parts of the world is leading to,
Right.
and we can get to this on another one, whether this be this other realm instead of multiverse, they call it. So we're getting
Yeah.
to these realm
right,
characters.
not everything happens in New York.
Correct. Yeah.
I was just
Right.
about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting these other realms, these other multiverses that, we've seen, I guess, depictions of these in Thor. So yeah, I was excited about it. Excited about the movie, man. And like I said, I mean, to be DP was talking about this. I don't know when I'm not going to be in the theaters or on the TV watching something. I mean, this is going to be. I mean, this is going to be a jam packed back half of the year into. I don't even know when, based on what they're doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a lot of stuff going on there. So I mean, it's just like we got the She-Hulk coming and everything. Well, as far as Marvel wise, we're not going to even get in like Star Wars stuff and everything. But yeah, we got like a lot of Marvel content coming on. Yeah, the Wakanda trailer, that was just awesome, in itself and everything. Loving the way finally they got the rights back. I don't know if they could make a name or movie but Universal let them at least borrow the rights, kind of like how they did with like the Hulk. The Hulk can't have his own movie, but he could be in any like Marvel stuff. So I guess that's how they're going to do like the excuse me, the same thing with Namor. But I'm finally, like you said, T Mitch, he's a historic character. He's been around since like the 40s, I want to say, the
Correct. He
Invader
was one of
days.
the
Yeah.
first Marvel properties. It's the third, I believe. There
Mm-hmm.
was Cap, there was Spider-Man, and it was him.
Oh, it wasn't Spider-Man.
No, not Spider-Man. I'm
The
sorry. There was
Fantastic
Cap,
Four.
the Fantastic Four.
It wasn't
Let
Fantastic
me see.
Four. We're going back to like the timely age. It was Cap, Namor, and Human Torch
That's what it was. I'm sorry, the
for
Torch. Yeah.
the invaders. Yeah,
Yeah.
this was like back before like the 60s, so like back from the 40s and stuff when they was like going superhero crazy and stuff. They just had to make
The golden
like a
age.
yeah, the way back, the golden age days. But yeah, it was a good trailer. Can't wait to see it. November's coming, can't come fast enough. All right. So let's get into like, them talking about phase 5. So we got Kevin Feige giving us like a couple new phases here. So we got like Ant-Man and the Wasp coming like the day before my birthday, February 17th. Can't wait. That's going to be a hell of a weekend for me.
Yeah.
But they showed some footage there of like, the Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania and everything. Heard it was like pretty decent. Heard they got some footage of Kang the Conqueror in a different form, so it's going to be some really crazy stuff happening in that movie. We got like Secret Invasion coming. They showed some footage of that. It's I'm kind of curious how this Skrull thing is going to work. I'm wondering if it's just going to be a Secret Invasion type of thing, or are they going to have it integrated in like a lot of other shows and stuff? I kind of hope not, because I'm not a real big fan of the Skrulls. But I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, the first thing is, I mean, I hope they don't take over everything and all the storylines. I mean, it's
Right.
just because I just have them have their, the 3-minute clip while the credits are rolling. Don't incorporate them into the movies or anything. I mean, that I think
Right.
that would be too much. I don't need to have every character that I grew up enjoying be a scroll.
Oh man,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So please don't do that either. I don't want to see Captain America as a scroll. Don't do that. But
Mm-mm.
but then again, in Feige, we all trust, so we believe that he will not do something as
Hell
stupid as
Feige,
that.
hell
Right,
Feige.
right, exactly. So I mean, it's going to be cool to finally see how they're going to do it. But I mean, first we have this whole multiverse thing, and it's good that they finally announced the phases and the direction they're going into. Um, because I mean, yeah, as well as Marvel's been putting all this stuff out, it's hard to see the clear phase that they're
Yeah.
really trying to go to, and it's just like, and the movies haven't been to the standard of what we've seen. I mean, we're so used to, we'll talk about more into Thor, but I mean, we're so
Endgame.
used
Yeah.
to,
The Endgame
yeah,
type movies.
right, right. You've had this End Game, you had the Infinity War, and then you had the End Game, and you have Spider-Man. I mean, you're used to these blockbusting movies with great storylines, and some of the other things have just been seemed kind of forced. Um, and fan property exactly. But so it's good to see them have the phase and have it phased out of how the direction they're going into. So now we have a clear idea of what direction they're going into and what they want to do with it. Now the secret, the Secret Wars, it's going to be curious. Nick Fury's going to come back and actually be Nick Fury, and then he's going to run into Skrull Nick Fury. That's the only character that for sure that
Right.
is, that's going to be, a Skrull, which I can live with that. But so it's going to be curious, but I'm more willing to find out, you know, Kang the Conqueror. I'd rather see him than any of the Skrulls at any point in time. So
Right.
let's start with that first
That was a
before we
yeah.
start with the Secret Invasion.
Couple big shocks though that they didn't release, and maybe they're saving this for next year. Me also ultimately, bro. I'm like and I said this. I'm the biggest Blade fan. That's like that's circled on my calendar. Like I just want to see. I hope they give a Wesley Snipes like a cameo. Like I just need that. Like
Just
even if
give
it's
me
5
something with
minutes,
It might
Wesley.
be
please. Yeah,
Yeah,
multiverse.
my
Yeah.
I
vert
need.
type.
Yeah, I need to see Wesley Snipes. Although Marshall Ali will play a great part of it. I mean, I just like that
Yeah.
kind of like samurai-ish type hero. That's probably why I kind of like Shang-Chi the character and more his sister as far as the action sequences and whatnot. But I'll be excited for Blade. Was a little shocked we didn't see the Kid Harington. None of that. What is it?
Black
Black
Knight
Knight.
stuff. Yeah.
Not they didn't release any of that, which should be in that Phase 5. So that'll probably be a Disney Plus series if that's not scratched. Rumors of Eternals 2. Maybe that slots into Phase 5 or actually
Mm,
Phase 6. Um,
I
so
think
yeah,
you can. I think with the Eternals, like Kate Harington stuff, you can phase them in and out of certain things. They don't necessarily need like the movie stuff until
Well,
um
I mean, you got a big property now, though. You have Harry Styles. I mean, he's not going to come cheap. They're not going to show him for
no,
5 minutes
no,
and
Right.
let him
no,
Yeah.
go.
They're
not at
they're
all.
not they're not gonna waste someone like
Yeah.
that. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So
yeah, yeah.
there's gonna be something bigger to
It's
that, and that's
it's
Thanos' what, brother, right?
yeah,
Yes.
So
yeah,
he has a
yeah,
big
yeah.
part to play, I'm sure.
Let me run down some of these titles for you guys. So they got Secret Invasion, Ant-Man and Wasp. So we got Guardians of the Galaxy coming back. So they showed
And
footage of
that's going to
that.
be a huge
That's
blockbuster. I mean,
that's
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 that's going to be the movie of the year. That's going to just blow everything out. Just for the fact that it's also the last Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
as well, too.
yeah. I heard
Since
that got
the
like an
The
end of
ride's
this.
emotional.
phenomenal. The ride's
Right.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah.
Right.
They said at the show it got emotional. When they showed like a lot of the footage in there, it got emotional for that. So you got
Right.
Echoes coming out next summer. You got the Marvels, of course. Coming out
Mm,
July 28th next year. You got Loki season 2. So that's happy to see that coming back. Of course, like T. Mitch was talking about Blades coming out next November. That should be a good Halloween type of movie and everything. Ironheart, so we get like her stuff from Wakanda Forever and everything, and hopefully it does tell right into like a decent series for her. Agatha, Covenant of Chaos. I don't know if we necessarily needed that, but they wanted to use I forget her name. They
uh,
really wanted to use her, and they like more power. And Kevin Feige we trust, I guess.
Right.
This one is I'm really curious about Daredevil Born Again. 18 episodes.
mm,
Now, the others, T. Mitch, we talk about like, episode counts on the, in the Carbonite
yeah,
podcast and everything.
18, bro.
Eighteen.
That sounds like 2 seasons, 9
That
episodes.
sounds
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
network. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
18 episodes. They didn't straight up say how it was going to
Mhm.
be divided out, if divided at all. But 18 episodes, that's a lot,
Yeah.
and
They
we've
got
been
to split
screaming
that up.
for Marvel to and Disney to carry a lot more episodes to make these things work better. So what are you guys thinking about that?
Of course, he'd be the one to get the long one, right? Of course, he'd be the one out of everything we scream about. He'll be the one to get the double season.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be split it up into 9 and 9, and for Daredevil, there's no way they're going to do 18 episodes in a row. I mean
I'll
that's
say this though,
uncalled
which is
for
which is
anything.
shocking. He has to play a major part to give this guy 18 episodes or something.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
going to have a big story to tell before the end of this, which is November of 2025. For them to give one character 18 episodes out of all the characters they've ever had, he's going to be a major
Well,
linchpin of
they might
something to
just
happen.
they might leave him out of the movies and just have him be the
Maybe.
lead for all the streaming, the shows.
Right. And we don't know the rights, right? He might not be able to show up in these team up movies, as we said. So I don't know
well,
how that'll
he
lay
showed
out.
up in Spider-Man.
That was a Sony property, though. I don't know how this is going to work out. I mean, they're already getting pushback from Spider-Man, and there's all kind of issues with Sony now. So
Well,
I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be able to show up in the movies. Especially, I think this is a character that Kevin Feige has been dying to get his hands on, and as far as an actor too, for years. But for years he couldn't really say anything because it was more of a the old Marvel Studios or
right,
whatever, the old guard,
yeah.
controlling that.
But I think
Um,
they're going to keep it like Daredevil still just like grounded. They're not going to bring him into the multiverse. They're going to keep him in,
right,
keep him in Hell's Kitchen, and
yeah,
maybe have this whole series and things around Hell's Kitchen.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe
it'd
yeah,
be
like
nice, yeah,
team up with the She-Hulk for the attorneys at law, or
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
this is the start to the kick of the Defenders. Just
right.
like bring that back. So they just keep Daredevil grounded. You don't need to bring him into the movies as this
He could be in
reoccurring
Secret
character.
Wars. I mean, that's great.
Don't tell me he's a scroll. We'll come over. Wherever you're
No,
at. I'll
yeah,
come.
yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. He could very well be in the Secret Wars though, or one of the Avengers movies. I mean, he's not an Avenger, but I can definitely see this culminating into like something happening like in the grounded stuff in like Secret Wars. I don't know how they're gonna do that movie with all these characters.
Right.
But I was kind of shocked with the 18 episode thing. And I'm excited about it because the last season of Daredevil, I don't know if you guys caught. I know you caught it, Ducci, but the last season of Daredevil was awesome.
Oh, of
that
course, yeah.
that last season, that was a good solid 13 episode, kick there. And Charlie
Mhm.
Cox and D'Onofrio came back for that one, and I mean it was good. They had one good hallway um um prison scene that was like just super good. In fact, I'm probably gonna go watch that at some point again. That was
Rewatch it.
that was a good
Yeah.
that was a good
Make
season
sure you
there.
get your R rating set on Disney Plus.
I know, right? Oh man, get my 4-digit pin ready. They got Captain America: New World Order coming
Yeah,
out.
that was shocking to me, to be honest. When I heard that announcement, I was shocked.
I was too. I was
I
too.
didn't know. I
You
thought
guys
the
didn't
story
think they
was
were going to be
done.
the Captain for? I mean,
Oh no,
No.
no, 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 no. I knew there was going to be a Captain America movie. To call it a New World Order is
ah,
interesting. You
That's
know,
why, yeah, that's what caught me. The new, I mean, that's
I'm like, okay, so how? I don't know if they're looking to get political with it. I mean, first of
nah,
all,
NWO is going to come out for life.
it,
New World Order for life.
I'm sure it's going to tie
Hulk
into the
Hogan's going to come
Thunderbolts.
out.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, for real, right?
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's going to tie into the Thunderbolts, and basically they're probably going to expose like these
hmm
like. I'm sure we'll see it as far as the Black Panther, that trailer. Whoever these like shadow organizations, the power broker. I think
hmm
that's going to be maybe the premise of this New World Order.
Yeah,
These kind of interconnected type. But
yeah.
yeah, that'll be an interesting story. Obviously
Um,
Sam, and hopefully we get Bucky again, my guy, the Winter Soldier,
Yeah, yeah. I
my
feel I
favorite
feel like
character.
you have to have that kind of
You have to
interaction
have
again. I
him.
mean,
Yeah,
it's like he's the sidekick type of thing.
he is.
You
Yeah,
got to
the
have
Winter
him.
Soldier for
Um,
sure.
um, I think they need to do a little bit more selling me on Anthony Mackie being Captain America. I mean, it's fine to have like Black Captain America. That's cool, but I think the actor he needs to sell me a lot more. And I hope they take him out of
Yeah,
that Power
is he
Rangers
gonna be
costume.
okay as a lead? You know?
Yeah,
They
yeah. The
take
suit.
take him out of that Power Rangers costume from the other series, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Give him another costume. I don't like the whole Falcon wings and stuff. I
Yeah,
mean,
he has to dish the wings. He has to dish the
yeah,
wings.
get rid of the wings and stuff. Leave that somewhere. Just have him straight, just flipping with the shield and all that stuff. That's fine.
What happened
Um,
to the kid taking the wings? That was like part of the bonus trailer. Like he picks up the Mach 1 wings. Like
yeah,
they're not going to continue that. But yeah, he needs to be the next Falcon or whatever.
yeah. Yeah. So yes, yeah. So we'll see how that goes in the Thunderbolts. I'm kind of curious about this movie. We know that we seen like what's her face? I can't think of her name. The Julia Louis Dreyfus. Yeah, we seen
Mhm.
her in a couple things already, but she hasn't been in anything since. So we don't know what the heck is going on with like this shadowy organization. That she's or the group she's trying to put together, like a enemy Nick Fury or whatever. So the Thunderbolts thing is going to be kind of interesting how they build up to that. And I do agree that I think that the Captain America and the Thunderbolts are going to be like a 1-2 type of
Yeah,
movie event that year, which is fine to like end off Phase 5 and everything, because it looks like that's going to be an end of Phase 5. And then we're going to go into like Phase 6, and the only movies that they have announced so far is like the Fantastic Four and the two Avengers movies, you know,
yeah,
with a whole bunch of open dates.
yeah. Interested in that Fantastic Four. I mean, and it's funny because I mean, you guys, I've said a million times, my favorite like character is Doctor Doom. Like out of any villain, and he's like my guy. I find him more of an anti-hero type of character, but like I think he's in Wakanda forever. I think he's going to be like they're going to tickle him in that a little bit. But I mean, you have to have Doctor Doom to have the Fantastic Four. They're not going to do Galactus. He's too big of a character. He's
Yeah,
something that you would lead up to. So
yeah,
I
Right.
mean,
Yeah, Galactus is more of a Thanos type of character.
right? Yeah,
It's going to take years to develop into him
yeah. They're not
because you
doing
got to
that
bring the
anytime
Silver
soon.
Surfer in and
Hmm.
right.
everything. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like how can you have the Fantastic Four without Victor Von Doom? You got
And
you
he has vibranium, right? His suit's made out of vibranium.
right. So
Yeah,
I mean he is such a great villain that he's on the level of like a Loki type of villain.
Yeah,
So you once you introduce him, prepare him to be in lots of movies.
yeah,
I mean, you just can't one off Doctor Doom.
right.
yeah. I'm to the point where I think Doctor Doom, and they were previously trying to develop his own movie and everything.
Yeah.
I think Doctor Doom should definitely have a movie by himself and not necessarily having anything to do with the Fantastic Four. I mean, you
Right.
got Liberia as its own continent. It's a whole bunch of political strife and all that stuff going on around in that in Liberia. Doom could have its own movie leading into the Fantastic Four if they wanted
Right.
to go that route. So that would
Yeah.
be a really interesting thing to actually get into the Fantastic Four for that particular movie there. But Doctor Doom, he's not that type of one-off movie. I mean, one-off character
No.
that you said that could be really just done one and done, and then all of a sudden we just see him back again, in the Fantastic Four if he is in Wakanda forever.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta scale it up and everything. He was a big part of the comic Secret Wars, so it might end up going, towards that. But I would really prefer if they end up, using this guy as his own movie. If one of those dates in there could be, in Doctor Doom with his own movie, that would just be really awesome to me.
Yeah. I mean, those other two dates, I know we kind of talked about it, this being like a two-parter, the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, like Infinity War and Endgame. I mean, that's the only way that they can have this phase six work. I mean, there's so many characters. I mean, let's be honest. Half are going to die in the Kang Dynasty. He's going to slaughter a lot of them. We're going to lose. I think we're going to have to lose half the characters. There's no way that they're going to be able to deliver.
Oh,
Even
so you think it's going to be another snap in a different
yeah,
type of way?
something, or he's just going to wreck a bunch of people. I mean, this is a multiverse, so essentially the multiverse, the timeline is now closing to become one. Whether people get lost in the multiverse or however the timeline becomes synonymous, I think by the end of the Kang Dynasty, like it's going to be like Thanos. Kang will win the first one, and then the heroes will come back and win the Secret Wars. That's how it's going to lay out. They have to do it that way.
So I guess a question would be, who are the Avengers going to be?
I mean, you have Shang-Chi, they're laying it out already. I mean, you see the characters assembling Ant-Man, Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can do a separate show on that. I mean, who it's going to be. I mean, it's interesting because are you going to tie in the X-Men? Are you going to tie in the Blade? I mean, there's like different,
Is Spider-Man going to come back into the
right?
Avengers?
It's going to be tough. I don't know how they're going to lay this out. I mean, that's why I guess as of today he has what 2.5 years to
Yeah,
figure this out. I mean,
and
they're in the,
you'll see another Doctor Strange movie in there as well too.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they left that open,
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Charlize Theron's character,
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
they threw that in there, so that's gonna blow wide open. And then Adam Warlock, is he gonna get his own movie? How's the crowd?
right.
How they gonna react to him? I mean, obviously he becomes a hero, so I mean, like, what is his involvement going to be into?
You know what?
Is he going to take over the roles of the Guardians of the Galaxy type of role? The space roles.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. Now you guys have brought a Spider-Man. They're not going to hold him until the next Avengers movie. So we're probably going to have at least one more Spider-Man movie before then.
Well, you have the Spider-Man show coming on, so.
Well, yeah, you got that, but I'm talking about Tom Holland and everything.
Yeah.
So and Sony has been known to mess up Marvel plans. Where when Kevin Feige and them think they have a plan laid out, here comes Sony. Okay, we need to put our Spider-Man movie out. We're not waiting on you guys. So
right.
we got
we need some of that Marvel money. You guys are printing money over there. The MCU.
Yeah, we need some of that. So so we're gonna put out. So I'm just wondering now how that Spider-Man is gonna fit up into all these plans. With what the MCU, what Feige and him is trying to do with like Phase 5 and 6.
Well, they've already announced it too. I mean, it's not going to be just Tom Holland. The other two still have a part to play. I mean, they've kind of alluded to that they'd like to Andrew Garfield has signed a deal with Marvel, so he's still somehow in this. I don't know about Tobey Maguire, but I know Andrew Garfield did sign a deal to appear in Marvel products, regardless of who he'll be.
Interesting. But it's still all Sony though. So it's
Yeah,
still Sony's decision,
yeah,
how they're going to integrate and everything. I could definitely see that all being multiverse, but it's still Sony's decision how they're going to, go about that. So kind
right.
of curious how they're going to deal with the Spider-Man character with all this, phase 5 and 6 stuff here. With the last movie, Spider-Man came out late last year. I'm thinking that Sony probably is going to be due for another Spider-Man in 2023, early 2024, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's when they can do like a thrown like a Venom Morbius,
Oh,
Vulture movie type of thing.
oh,
The Sinister Six type of movie,
oh,
Yeah.
oh God. Craven the Hunter, Madam Web,
Yeah.
Right,
oh.
exactly.
boy.
And then they could throw in Andrew Garfield into that movie.
Yeah.
Come on, don't do Andrew Garfield like that, man.
I mean, they have a Spider-Man in that universe. I mean, it could be Andrew Garfield. I mean, if you saw the poster, he's a killer, and Andrew Garfield said he killed somebody. So
If I was Andrew Garfield's agent, I would say stay away. If it
Andrew
doesn't have
Garfield
Kevin
caught a
Feige
body.
involved, stay away.
yeah, until they back up a truck full of money.
Oh man, yeah, pretty much.
You know what's interesting as we discuss this final phase 6 here? Just looking at this date and this calendar, like, I mean, we've already heard about two mutants. We saw,
Hmm.
a little bit into Doctor Strange. I guess now Miss Marvel, as we'll discuss that shortly, she's a mutant. Namor is a mutant. I mean, there's not a lot of time to introduce X-Men and mutants into this. I just think that they could have saved that for phase 7 and maybe in a different whatever this one timeline. I just don't see, now that we're getting the X-Men and we're starting to speak about mutants,
Hmm.
I don't think there's enough time to introduce them to
Not
make
at
it
all. Not at
work.
all. And I think if you
There's not
try to
enough time.
squeeze them into everything that you're trying to
Oh,
do, you're
yeah,
rushing it.
they're going to have to
I
look at
mean,
it. If you
they
look at
don't
the
have to
calendar
do
right
that.
now and then when Avengers Secret War ends, that's 3 years from now, and look at the dates. There's no time. I mean, an X-Men movie, unless they're going to sprinkle a ton of Disney Plus content in.
You got a Deadpool movie coming out in that
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's not enough
But that's
time.
still part of the mutants, If they're going to
Yeah.
integrate, Deadpool, that's still, talking about mutants and stuff. So how are they going to do that?
I don't know how they're going to pull this off, unless they're going to just like do a movie every other month, or I don't
I
know.
don't
It
know.
just doesn't look like enough time for me.
It
That's why
doesn't.
they're just throwing stuff on streaming shows now.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, X-Men really is a streaming show. To the movies is one thing, but the storylines and the sprawling of
Yeah.
characters that they have for X-Men, I mean, it's more of a series than a
Right.
movie. To me,
Right,
you
that's
could
why
all.
they got the X-Men '97 coming back out.
Well, I mean,
Can't
that's
wait.
the
Can't wait
comic.
for
I mean,
that.
that's the cartoon. I'm talking about, like,
So good though.
the
Days,
live
Days of
action
Futures
stuff.
Past was the last movie. Let's just count it at that. Days of
Yeah,
Futures
yeah.
Past was
They
it.
they that
Apocalypse was not.
with the last X-Men stuff, you see them trying to cram so many storylines, into, like, one movie, and it just doesn't work. You have to let the X-Men breathe. Whether it's like, in a movie form, or having a combination of like series and stuff combined with the movie stuff. You have to have, to the point where I'm just like, okay, this is my opinion, but X-Men needs its own universe.
Yeah.
Right.
To
Yeah. How are you going to bring the
Exactly.
X-Men and the Marvel and the Avengers into one
I
is
can't
thing?
see that
you could
happening.
do it through the multiverse, but X-Men needs to first start out on its own thing, not have anything to
Right.
do
But
with
like
any
you
of this
mentioned,
other stuff.
you're going to have a Marvel movie almost every month. When
Exactly,
you
that's what I'm
start bringing
saying.
the
Like,
X-Men in.
Yeah,
how do you just introduce the X-Men as a unit and not do origin story? You know what I mean? Like I'm saying,
right,
it
right.
has to be. They should just save it till phase 7. Hopefully they
Yeah,
do that,
hopefully they do.
because
I
I can't
mean,
see it fitting in. I want it. I mean, and it doesn't do the characters justice. There are so
right,
many stories, that we can go through.
right.
On the internet, it's always a
Yeah.
meme: is are they going
Yeah.
to do Jubilee right this time? Or are we going to just shoot fireworks out of our hand? Like, come on, man.
Sparkles.
Right?
Yeah. Well.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So many
I mean,
story
you
Gambit. I
feel
mean,
like
there's
it's
so
going to
many
be.
characters that you can
I
do.
mean, you
You
got
just can't throw the unit in the
Genosha.
movie.
I mean, that was a big thing back when. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so many big story stuff.
Or do
That
you think they're going to throw it in '97 and just drop a movie, which they can do? They can just do
Yeah.
'97 and just throw a movie down and just say, here
Yeah,
you go.
I just feel like they're gonna take their time with they're not gonna rush the X-Men into
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
They're
you
gonna take
can't,
their time
you
into
can't,
it. They
you
have to.
can't. Yep. So yeah, we got that. So Spider-Man freshman year, leftover. X-Men '97. We talked about that, and What If season 2 is coming out. So Marvel's on the move. They're trying to just, like, drown out any other distinguished competition out there. You know.
Is there any competition left? I mean, geez. You might as well just get right into it. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Somebody said
This is literally embarrassing.
it's been a few
It's
articles I've been
embarrassing.
reading about the DC's panel and everything, and how dry and stale it was, and how they're so not confident in what they're doing. Where's the Flash and
They're just
Aquaman
lost. They're
trailer?
just lost.
We know you got the production and stuff done. You could easily call the Flash Flashpoint and feature Batman and Supergirl and whoever else is in that movie as like his own thing without having to show Ezra Miller. Why aren't you showing anything at all? This movie's done. I know, and I have a feeling it's actually going to be pretty good. But the movie's done. They don't want to show any parts of anything that has to do with a trailer or anything. I'm just shocked.
How are they going to do marketing for this movie? Because they don't want to take Miller out and shop him around.
Well, you can't. The movie's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're stuck with this movie that you spent all this millions of dollars on, and oh man,
They better call Zack Snyder back. They better pick that phone up, man.
They've already stated they're done with him.
Well, they're not calling Matt Reeves,
Oh,
man.
here comes another Batman movie.
Man, yeah. Let's get another. Let's get
calling Matt Reeves now. Right now, he's on the
phone. The Black Adam trailer. I'm not too mad at that. I'm not super excited about Black Adam. But
I think it'll be a good movie.
Yeah. They got your Justice Society there.
Yeah, you hope. I'll say that. I hope.
Yeah. Some of this stuff, I mean, it's also like rehash CW stuff. And I'm like, okay, I didn't already saw a little bit of this already, in the CW shows and everything. And now they're bringing it to the big screen. Ho hum, nothing super exciting. Shazam stuff, nothing super exciting. Everything is
that's gonna bomb. That's gonna bomb. I saw that trailer, man, and that was because they have 4 movies planned for that when they laid that out. There's this one.
For
then
real?
They get because
the Shazam versus Black Adam they bring it in, and
you have to do that. Then he has to go to that other world to find that the final wizard or whatever. It's like a 4-parter. The whole Shazam story was laid out.
Oh really? Oh my God! They're that
not gonna make
ambitious.
Yeah. God, it was. This. I almost cried. The trailer was horrible. Horrible, man.
Yeah. It was.
And I'll say this about the Rock: he doesn't usually do too many BS movies. Even though he's saturated in the market, all his movies are usually hits. I can't see Black Adam failing. He wouldn't sign up for that.
I'm digging it. I'm not overly excited. I mean, I'm more excited about Marvel stuff than anything. But Black Adam, I'm there at the theater to see it. I'm there.
I'll be there.
Right, I might not be there opening night with my, my ticket pre-bought, but
I'll show up if I can get a lounge share seat. But
right,
if it's available,
right. Oh, okay. I got nothing going on Sunday afternoon. What? Wait, is that
Black
football
Adam,
season? Oh man, I have to get Tuesday on Fandango cheap night.
Yeah,
$5, whatever, $5.
Yeah.
Why can't DC just get this together? It's just wow, you just like Marvel just blow you out the water every time.
It's like
you
can't
come up with any type of game plan just to. I mean, they're the only other comic book property that can do what Marvel does, but they don't want to do it. You guys don't want to make money?
I think they tapped out. Really,
right?
They tapped out.
They're they gave up.
They gave up.
Honest,
They're like the CW's
Brothers,
beating our Marvel or the CW's beating our movie products right now.
I mean,
they're just focusing on HBO content that they could just roll out.
Warner Brothers tapped out. I mean, look at it. There's a sequel to The Joker, which isn't part of this, so they're worried about these.
And it's a musical. Don't let me started with that either.
Oh, I didn't even hear about that, but yeah. So there's a Joker sequel they're doing.
Yeah, it's a musical.
Yeah, you didn't hear that? That's a musical. Yeah, that was yeah. Joker 2 is a musical, guys.
Great.
And it still doesn't have Batman in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the Matt Reeves thing, and that's why I said that was like their last hope to try to create something that doesn't even fit in this, because there's obviously the Night Owls, and I mean that's crazy because they went quiet on that. So who knows if we're going to even continue this story or not.
I wouldn't mind them continuing that story.
Well,
I would like
that
to see
yeah,
that,
that well, as we
but of
said,
course that's a
that's going
different.
to
That's
HBO
not
Max.
of
So yeah,
right, but yeah, of course that's not part of this property.
no.
It's
But you figure they would have said that Court of Owls HBO Max series for this panel. They didn't show that.
They didn't
Like,
show anything,
no,
nothing.
they don't have
So
anything. Maybe.
why? I mean,
well, they
I
knew
don't get
Marvel
it.
was introducing five and six, so they didn't want to take their thunder away.
Yeah, they was probably in the panel just watching Marvel and everything, just marveling at them
Yeah,
and everything. All
right.
the execs, all the DC execs at the Hall H watching Marvel stuff.
Yeah, Warner Brothers like go to the Marvel Hall H and take notes. Don't worry about
Yeah, right.
don't worry about your table this year. Go
Could
take
could you
notes.
imagine that though? Like seriously, these high level members of Warner Brothers and like DC just sitting there just watching this, like,
Yeah.
and it's not like they don't have the budget.
Yo, no, yeah.
They
They
waste
own
the
all their
money. Yeah,
characters. They
they
own all their
waste
characters.
they waste the money on these.
Nah, yeah,
And then they've walked people off the plank. I mean, Gal Gadot's ready to walk.
I would too. Yeah,
Henry Cavill is rumored to be.
yeah,
You know, what is it, 007? So he's out. I mean,
yeah.
he already had issues filming because they had to CG off his mustache because he was like, dude, this movie isn't paying me enough. I'm filming something else. So like, you're gonna have to
You're gonna
I'm
have to
not
do
cutting my
something.
mustache for
yeah.
you
This is
guys.
staying
Nope.
on.
That
Yeah,
is
so
not
I
happening.
mean that was crazy when I heard that part. Like he wasn't dedicating himself to their movie because it wasn't really essentially important enough for him as a project. So
Right.
Superman's basically dead. I mean, what do they have left? Literally, they don't have a
Yeah,
Batman. Batman
hey,
quit.
Ducci, they can bring in our Superman from CW. That's my Superman. You
And
know.
that's my Flash too now, right?
No.
That's my Green
Apparently.
Arrow. That's my
Oh man, yeah,
We're gonna reboot the Green Lantern. Let's try that again.
Oh,
Oh jeez,
oh,
man.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. All these wasted classic characters. I mean, we're never going to get an on-screen like in the theaters, Crisis on Infinite Earth done right. Not to
No.
say that CW's was bad or anything like that, but we're never going to have those event type DC films like, like
What do
the
you mean?
Legend stuff. I
We'll
mean,
never see them go to Apocalypse and
I see them
no,
all the time,
nothing.
man. They're great. They're all the animated ones. Those are
right.
sick.
Oh
Oh, the
yeah.
animated ones
Those
The
are
animated
are
stuff is all
those are
day.
oh, those are so
phenomenal.
great. Oh,
Phenomenal.
those are
That's
right. It's
Like
amazing
we'll
that
never see that in
right.
live action.
That's the one thing they did beat Marvel in the
Yeah.
animated.
Those,
Yeah,
yeah, those movies
yeah.
are all
Right.
phenomenal.
Hey,
Every one
speaking
they
of
do.
this week, Harley Quinn comes out into season 3.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Can't
Yeah.
wait for that. Yeah,
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 we're
yeah,
excited about
yeah.
that stuff.
Oh
Why
yeah.
didn't it come on, DC? Come on, you have a show premiering this Friday. Where's
Yeah.
HBO's stand? Huh?
all,
Let's go
all,
see
all, all
that.
their best writers and executives are on the animated stuff. They don't want to put
Yeah.
them on the live action stuff for some reason.
And they have these darker, grittier stories that I would love to see.
Right.
Yeah,
You
everyone will
know?
love to see. They could do, and literally, I think the only thing that's holding Marvel like great content back is the fact that it can't be as gritty as like DC stuff
Right.
because they're down with Disney.
Right.
Warner Brothers. I think the worst thing that Warner Brothers didn't do is make DC its own studio.
Right.
They're approving all the content that DC that comes out of DC, and they don't know. They never knew what to do with their characters. So they're already at a bad position. They have all these characters that they own, all the classic characters that they own, but don't know what to do with them.
It's a weird, yeah, it definitely leaves them in a weird conundrum because there are so many stories, and it seems like every time
So
they get
many
to Zack
stories.
Snyder's, this Matt Reeves guy, they'll let him make a movie, and then, like you said, the execs get involved, they start clashing with the producer, and
Yep.
then the
Yeah.
movie falls apart, he
Nobody wants to
quits.
work with DC. Yeah.
No, like it's just
No.
like it seems
Mm-mm.
like, I mean, all the actors hate their job, obviously. You're
Yeah.
hearing these
Yeah.
stories come out, so it's
Yep.
just like a toxic environment. I
Mhm.
don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
you
like I
you
said,
you you don't
I
you
don't
don't
see
have
Matt
that
Reeves
Kevin
lasting.
Feige there, with
No.
the vision and everything, until they actually get a Kevin Feige, that actually knows the material, like the comic stuff, and can actually do like the movie stuff. They're going to be spinning their wheels every time they come out with something. Like I said, I think this Flash is going to be a really good movie. It's just a shame that Ezra is being what he is, and just messing up the rotation. But I am looking forward to that, even though we got no type of announcement from and we got no Aquaman stuff, so it's just like damn
Yeah,
DC, damn.
me and Ducey was talking about that before as well. Like he lost all his weight, so he's not even ready to even film. I mean, he's like he has a product launch or something. I think he's with
He's
Harley
not
Davidson.
Aquaman ready.
He's not Aquaman ready now, so he's
Wow.
like kind of like doing his own thing. But
Yeah,
so
until
didn't they reveal in the Flash movie he does his like ultimate ability, whatever it is, the Flashpoint we like can change time or whatever. That's like his ultimate ability, right?
no, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
You can like roll back time or something.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean that's the whole purpose of Flashpoint is like
Can't roll back time. He can go back in time.
Is that what
yeah,
it
he
is?
could go
Yeah.
back in
Right.
time and
He's
like
not like Superman spinning the world,
yeah.
backwards.
Yeah, I mean that's like the big thing. That was a big plot in like the DC movies. It's a shame that they have to pare it down to just one single movie. They could have did the whole thing Marvel did, just had like a whole bunch of like shows and movies culminating into like Flashpoint and reset everything. But they were just going to do all that, and I guess in the one movie. Like I said, I think it's going to be all right, but who knows? Who knows? They got the Batgirl thing coming out. I'm a little optimistic about that. Gonna have Michael Keaton in the thing, and as also in the Flash stuff. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, you got
But
Gotham Knights coming out for PlayStation 5. I'm excited
That'll
about
be
that.
sick. Hey, it's coming for X. Is that PlayStation only or Xbox as well? I thought I
Only
seen it.
PlayStation 5. Oh, the
No.
new Xbox. Not
Yeah.
like yeah.
Right.
It's only on the high performing ones.
I'll be getting that.
Yeah, I went out and got me a Playstation 5 just for that game.
oh wow, oh
That game
man,
is
that's
sick. The
that's
story for the
that's
last Arkham Asylum was good.
Yeah, I mean those have been my favorite games. So I was like, when I was very upset when I found out that I was only coming out for the PlayStation 5. So I had to go out and find me a PlayStation 5.
yep, dedication. All right, so let's get into like a couple discussions about like Miss Marvel and Love and Thunder, and then we'll wrap this up and everything. Um,
We could do Miss Marvel real fast.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very
Please.
it was very nice how they incorporated, the Pakistani and all that in the good story and just, the diversity of it all. So it was
Yeah.
good to see another diverse character. As for the storyline, it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I tried to tell
I don't
DP that,
yeah.
man. It didn't.
I can care less about a 13, 14-year-old hero that's not named Spider-Man. I really like I never liked her comics. I didn't really follow it, so I watched it, but it was one of those background type of things. Like, is it over finally? Can I go on to the next episode? Um, I like it. So the best part is when they said, "Oh, she's a mutant," like, "Oh, tingle tingle," and then when they brought Miss Marvel in.
Yeah,
It's like the last. So in 6 episodes, I like 5 minutes. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I've been telling DP this. He was trying to sell me on it, man. It just didn't hit home.
Nope.
Like you said, I like the culture appropriation of the. I never understood. I didn't know Pakistan was separate from India, so like the story of the partition and all that stuff. Like they were getting other characters, but yeah, the character. I mean, the show. It was kind of. I mean, it just didn't hit home for me. Cool story. The music was cool, but like it just didn't resonate with me. It was a super young story.
I
It
couldn't
tied to
relate.
like. No, I didn't. I was just like, okay. Yeah, and then there's another one, I guess, or whatever. And I guess they tied in the Black Panther and stuff, and it ties into Moon Knight. So these like I said, these realms outside of the multiverse, because I guess that's two different things they're discussing. There's a multiverse, and then there are these realms, like where the Black Panther, the ancestral plane, this place where the clandestines come, wherever they come from,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't do it.
So yeah, I guess that's
Um.
like the same realm, but yeah, I didn't. It didn't resonate with me at all.
So I thought the first two episodes of the series was pretty great. Great introduction into the character, and she's a very lovable character. Great actress.
Yeah.
Great, great, does great work. I read the Ms. Marvel. The Ms. Marvel comics are pretty good. The storyline in them was, pretty decent and everything. They did some stuff from the comics, but of course adapting it over into like to live action and everything leaves some stuff out that they couldn't really do with like bringing some of the Avengers and stuff in, because we know that it's like Cap and Iron Man and all of them are not around and everything, so you can't really do all that. So they packed a little bit more culture, into it, which is fine. I think the thing that sort of like left me wanting was the fact that they couldn't really develop a lot of the other stuff around it. To me, it was just plot, plot, plot. The only character development you really had was from Ms. Marvel, Kamala, and maybe her parents to a degree, her mom to a degree. I liked her mom a lot. But other than that, it was plot, 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 and then all of a sudden, the series is over and everything. So of course, you could look at this as like, okay, it's like background stuff. Let's get on to the next thing and everything.
Yeah.
It was cool. Not everything that Marvel does, not every character, even in the comics, is going to hit. Now, if you're a comics fan, I'm not buying every single comic that Marvel ever comes out with. That's just straight up ridiculous and everything. So for the content they come out with on like shows and movies and stuff, if you're an MCU fan, that's fine. You don't have to like or put your money to everything, or take your time out, I should say, to everything that actually comes out. That they do. They want us to do that, but I'm looking at it as also like a comic fan myself. I wouldn't necessarily spend money. I didn't spend money to buy like Ms. Marvel, when it came out and everything. But when I got my Marvel Unlimited subscription, I was able to actually go back and read the issues. I was like, okay, this is pretty good, So I felt it like that. But as far as the series itself, it sort of like died off like towards the end there and everything, and then like the last episode got really wonky. I'm like, okay, this is suffering sort of like the same. It's not the character. It's the same problem we've been complaining about with Boba Fett, with Obi-Wan, with what was the Moon Knight. Everything that Marvel does that's like 6 episodes, or Disney does 6 or 7 episodes, is too little. They need a little bit more time to breathe with these characters to get us really more interested in them, versus just plot, 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 bam, you're out, I don't know about that. So, and I think that the series sort of suffered in its execution, for this character, because to me it started out promising but died off. Although I can't wait to see her back with in the Marvels with Brie Larson, and
put her in her interaction where it's not just all filled in backstory and
yep. So that's pretty much that. I mean, what did you think, T Mitch?
Yeah, I'm there. I mean, it missed for me. It was cool. I mean, I like the Brie Larson thing at the end. I'm not a hater of Brie Larson, so I think she played her part the best she could. It's not her fault. We discussed this when the movie came out. It's not her fault they made the character this strong. That then they tried to depower her when she could have literally killed Thanos herself. Like, the hate that she gets for the character that they created and the power level that they gave her, it's not her fault. I mean, I'm interested to see more of her. I like that story, kind of with the Marvel and stuff. Maybe we get, more backstory to their power, the origin. Obviously, their power is tied to the Ten Rings, so maybe that's what we'll see Shang-Chi again. So, hey, there's a lot more for her to do and to deliver. And I mean, if they're going to keep that kind of, this realm or this kind of, ancient, mythologic powers, that's something different. I'm willing to tune in and see.
Remind me again. Okay, so in the end credit scenes with Shang-Chi, did he go with Wong when
Yes.
Wong?
So
Okay,
they
so
went to his library.
we've seen Wong a whole bunch of times
Yeah,
since
Wong's been a
then.
lot. Well, you remember
And
The reason they're showing Wong so much is he's Sorcerer Supreme, not
right,
Strange.
right, but we haven't seen any Shang-Chi,
Yeah,
but we've seen
he's
Wong
been
a
traveling
lot.
though
Yeah,
Right,
without Sean.
bro.
Yeah.
Hey, please do
right,
not put
but
that.
you would
Please
think
don't
that
show
he
that
might.
girl again with
Right,
Shang-Chi. Please don't show her.
she was the
What was her
comic
name?
relief.
We
The
don't need her though. Moving
Oh,
forward.
Aquafina.
Yeah,
Aqua,
I'm
yeah, I
cool.
was gonna say
I'm
some kind
cool.
of water, something.
That is a water. Aquafina.
Aquafina. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
cool on her.
Feige said this phase was a reset, and you sort of getting to know the characters and stuff. So if that's what this is, I'm fine with the actors and actresses that they've been introducing, because I've
Right.
liked the actors. It's just that the execution with the plots they've been giving us, that's just not really hitting for me. Like the Moon Knight stuff. Love the actor, not really too interested in like the story and everything. Same way with Ms. Marvel to a degree. Love the actor and
Yeah.
actresses,
Yeah.
not really hitting with like
Oh,
the execution of the story and everything. They could do a whole lot better with that. But if that's all this is, then they're doing a okay job with making me interested in the
yeah.
characters for when they actually start interacting and everything all together. In Avengers or in each other's movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be loving when they start popping up into each other's stuff.
Yeah.
Because I love a crossover. I mean, I'm a sucker for a crossover.
Right?
So I,
Yeah.
I can't help it. Um, so yeah, that was Miss Marvel. It was okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give it like a 6.
That's fair. I think a six is fair.
You know,
Yeah, we'll give it a six. I think that's
Ish.
fair. Yeah,
Five.
six
six.
it's six ish.
5.5. Five
Yeah,
point five.
5-ish.
5 ish.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean
five.
it's right there. Sort of middle of the road and everything. All right, so let's get into Love and Thunder and then we'll wrap it up. So
I told you. I tried to tell you guys.
I
well
had
let
I
so high
tried to tell you.
expectations.
Listen, I've told you guys since Spider-Man when we did the review on this show. This phase and the fans have said it, bro. Marvel's gotten a little too cute. I don't know if they're just like they've taken away something. I mean, great actors. We've said this time and time again. Even Spider-Man, like it didn't hit all the way. It had the fan service, but it didn't hit the way it should have. Like I just felt like they've had DC dead. They've been dead. They really could have like just ended it, and they've just gotten too cute with some of these stories. Like we'll get into it, but like Gore, Christian Bale's an actor. You can't like kill him off that quick. I wanted to see him more. Like I felt like he had more to offer. And then like the
yeah,
redemption story,
yeah.
you know, Jane is just, oh man, not enough. Not enough for me.
Are you saying you didn't like Jane or it wasn't
I
enough
did.
Jane?
It just wasn't enough. And then, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
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 I agree the same way. Like every scene Christian Bale was in,
yeah,
it was just phenomenal. And that villain, is one of those villains you
right.
can relate to. But
Yep.
again, now so you have this great villain, you got Jane, but like you said, it just wasn't enough. And like I don't know, the first half of Thor was actually better than the second half for me. Like, the first half was well written, and then the second half I was just like, again, they try to get just too cute, and it's just like, oh, we'll just throw in this jumbled mess and have kids fight at the end. I wasn't digging that at all. I I mean, it's better than Thor 1 and Thor 2, but I mean, when you compare things to Ragnarok, I mean, you're just losing on that one. And they had, again, great characters, and it's not enough Jane, not enough Gore, but well, you can't make a 3-hour Thor movie either. So,
No. I mean, he beats up Odin, and then we got, yeah, it's just,
yeah.
what?
I,
Hercules? Come on. Where's he fit in this? Like, like I said, we have literally 2 years and 3 months.
it's
3 years
it's
and three
it's
months.
it's 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 a lot that they're trying to do, and I think it's one of the failings. I mean, I'm gonna say this right off the bat. I like Thor. My kids loved that movie. They loved the movie.
it's a
They
kid
they
movie. It's a
It
they.
is a
kid.
good family movie. It's a good
I'm
family movie.
serious. I'm like I
Mhm.
was pleasantly surprised because I take them to more movies all the time. This was one of the ones that they were just like they was really they really came out and was like, you see, Zeus and what he was doing, he had the tutu on and blah 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 blah. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow,
like T
really?
Mitch
You
says,
guys
too
like
cute,
that?
too
You
Yeah,
know?
cute.
it,
Yeah,
yeah,
It's
it's,
Disney.
yeah. And the one thing I guess about Too Cute, we got to also realize that I think I said this in a text message, you guys too. They've done what MCU done what they needed to do for me. I mean, I'm 47 years old and everything. I've got my End Game, I got my Infinity War, I got my
no,
Cap, and I got my
in
Avengers and
game. Here we
everything.
go.
They've done everything they did for me. I've wanted to see these characters on screen in a crossover form pretty much all my life and everything. So
Right,
I'm good. I'm good. So
right,
everything that you're introducing right now,
It's
maybe
not
is not
gravy
for
though.
me.
This isn't
right.
gravy. This is like the just the stock before we make the gravy. Because they could have continued with the stories. I mean,
Mhm.
come on. So what we're saying right now is those A-list actors carried it. That's all we're saying right now. Because if we're following the same path, these aren't the same A-list actors, and these movies are failing. So all we're saying is you have to spend on the actors to make the movie. That's
I
what
Well,
it's
I,
it's
I,
not.
saying.
I
It's
don't
not.
feel
It's not even the
I
actors, and it's the storylines. You're just deluding yourself from the storylines.
It is.
You've already introduced the best storylines going on with these characters, and you've already listed the A-list characters. So now you're on these, this B, C list of characters, and your stories are all diluted. You've already told your story, the major story. So
Yeah.
it's hard to tell the same story again.
Yeah. And I think one of the bigger things that Mike pointed out that when they started out with like Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, those were like B-list characters that nobody cared about. The only
Who knew
reason why
who
it
knew who
got
the Guardians of the Galaxy were?
yeah, the
Nobody can name
Guardians of
one
the
name.
Galaxy as well and everything. But and I think we look at things in rose-colored glasses in hindsight. Some of those movies that came out back then, if they came out today, I don't know if they necessarily would have been like acclaimed and everything like how we're looking at looking at everything in hindsight and stuff. Iron Man, the first Iron Man was top notch. The second Iron Man was just so. Then the Thors came out. It was like really so. The Captain America, the first Avenger movie was good. But I remember the comics people were making about that too. It was just okay. It wasn't really until the Avengers movie came out where that was something that nobody ever seen before, a studio bringing three franchises together, and actually making it into one, team up type movie. That was just something that just never happened before, in movie history, and
Right.
you can't duplicate that again. You can't do you can't do I guess what they say, you can't do the
Can't triple stamp a double stamp.
yeah, exactly. You can't do the same thing again over. You can't do the first time over again. It's never going to be a
You,
first
you
time
only
again.
have one time to make a first
You
impression.
only have a one time, and they made that first impression and wrecked it and everything. And some people still complain about that Avengers Joss Whedon movie. That storyline wasn't great in hindsight and everything. It was just a
Right.
culmination of three franchises coming together. And I remember at the time it was just a great thing. But looking back, it's like, okay, was that movie all that good? I don't know. It's up to you to decide as far as that. But the stuff that's coming out now, it feels like it's a lot. It's a lot. We wasn't getting like Marvel shows and Marvel movies like hitting every like couple months like we are right now. So it seems like a lot of the quality is not there. But maybe to like younger eyes it is. I don't know.
Well, we didn't discuss this, but Groot's all part of this as well. I mean, Groot has a series coming out here shortly, right?
Yeah,
That
I
was
mean those
announced.
Yeah,
those
it's
are
just
like
gonna be like
shorts.
little
Are you really
shorts.
counting
Right.
that though?
I'm
Right.
not. I
Those,
mean,
yeah.
I won't. I
Those, I
won't be
mean, we'll
watching
watch
it.
it. I'll
I,
watch it just
I'm
because
not
I
gonna
I,
be
get bored
watching
in the
that.
summer.
Yeah,
But
I mean, just because you got a subscription to like the
yeah.
Disney Plus and
The
everything, it's
platform,
on
yeah.
there. You can watch like top 5 or 10 minutes. It's not going to
Right.
be a half an hour,
Until football
45 minutes.
season, my weekends are pretty boring.
Right.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. But I'm not really going to complain too much because it seemed like they got like some good stuff coming.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it excites me a lot more, and hopefully that these lessons that they're and also give it to COVID happened. So a lot
Right.
of stuff, the whole Falcon and Winter Soldier storyline got scrapped because of COVID.
Right.
So they had to change up that whole thing, and that just made it seem like really uneven, from the plot perspective and everything.
Yeah.
So you got like a lot of productions that got pushed back and things that they had to handle because of that. So I'm willing to give Marvel a pass on this phase. Now they got to
Right.
come with it the next phase because this is what we're expecting. They're announcing all this stuff. The quality has got to be there. With all this setup that they did, so-called did the phase 4. And with the as far as the Love and Thunder movie, they to me it was a little silly. I wish Guardians of the Galaxy could have been there the whole time, not just like 5 minutes
Right.
and then they're gone. But I mean, it is what it is. I think maybe Taika is maybe wearing out his welcome as far as his stick, per se, as far as Thor and stuff. I still like Chris Helms working in the character mode and him being like, whimsical and all that stuff. I was loving Natalie Portman is on the Mighty Thor. I was loving that. It's a shame that that storyline with her having cancer and using the hammer to beat Thor to sort of like fend off the cancer thing couldn't have been like the major storyline of the movie. That
Right.
could have been like, but Marvel being Team Mitch, this is one thing we was telling. This is a Disney movie at the end of the day. DC would have told this story a lot differently, don't you
Right.
think? You
Yes.
know, they would have probably
For sure.
highlighted that fact of, her having cancer and it really being a big part of the movie and stuff.
Right.
Now, would it have been a movie everybody wanted to see? That's not the type of movie kids would bring, you know. So I mean, it's just a different thing, you know.
Right.
But nevertheless, it was still a good movie. Just not one of the better MCU movies at the end of the day. Hercules at the end. I like the guy because he's in like one of my favorite TV shows, Ted Lasso. So I can only imagine how he's going to be going up against like Thor, the way his character is. So I'm curious how that's going to go. But I don't know if you necessarily need a Thor 4. I don't know.
I didn't know Hemsworth was doing anymore. I thought the rumor was he was kind of out. So I was shocked that they did this trailer for, um, Hercules going to chase him down. Obviously, with this, with Love is going to have a bigger part in the MCU. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how
It,
they.
it, Hemsworth wants more money, so of course he's saying out. He,
I don't
he
know,
is,
man.
Thor.
Yeah.
he also said he wouldn't mind playing Thor forever and everything. So now that his whole contract thing is ended, it just sounds
Right.
like you roll up the bank, roll up the money truck, and I'll play Thor. You give me
He better
you
keep
give
playing Thor. I saw that movie he did on Netflix or whatever about him being like a
right.
dog. Yeah, man, stick to Thor,
Right.
bro.
Stick to Thor. Stick to
Stick to
Thor.
Thor, bro.
You can't do Men in Black.
Nah.
Oh yeah,
you're
yeah.
Thor, bro. Well, I haven't seen him as Hulk Hogan yet, so I can't say that.
Oh man, yeah. I was digging Matt Damon in the movie. They had
Yeah,
Thor's brother
that
in the
was
movie. That
that's
was
just a
funny.
callback to that was just a callback for
Yeah,
humor.
yeah. It was a few cute tidbits, like you said. They probably got a little bit too cute, but not enough to annoy me, you know. But I think after and I'm kind of glad that we're getting a comedy with She-Hulk and then Wakanda Forever, so they're ending this phase and everything. And then I'm ready to get down to business. I'm ready to get down into like, phase 5 type, all the stuff that they say they're coming out with. We'll see if it stays on schedule, but I'm looking forward to Ant-Man and the Wasp and, seeing Kang and, seeing the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I'm excited to see that back. I can't wait to see Blade just like you, Mitch. Captain America, Thunderbolts, I'm highly curious about. It's a lot of good material out there, and it's movie stuff. So hopefully they can get that quality back and try not to be too cute, because they prove they could be a little bit serious with Captain America and the Winter Soldier and the Civil
Right.
War stuff without having to resort to like Thor type of stuff,
Right.
So I'm hoping they could get back to that level and just make us all like, love Marvel, just keep continuing doing the thing.
Sure, for sure, man. It's exciting times.
Yep. So and with that, I guess we'll just wrap it up and everything. But I mean, we're excited about everything that's coming out with Marvel and everything. Hence that we talk more about them than anything that DC has done. But we had to integrate a little bit of them in, because distinguished competition needs love too. So we'll see how all this comic book content, and of course we got the Star Wars stuff coming out. Andor. Make sure that you guys check out our Carbon Outbound and BS podcast, because we to be talking about Andor soon. We'll be back this Wednesday to talk about the next set of Darth Vader issues. So we'll be talking about volume 4 of that. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you hit that button, subscribe button, and the notification button. So anytime that we're on, you know that we're on. And thank you again for this extended Nerd Cycle Comic Flick Show podcast. All right. Peace out, people.